It could be argued that all questions about these fictional characters boil down to one. Why are we so fascinated by Yautja? For centuries, we have been obsessed with looking up at the night sky, mystified by what could lie beyond our realm. With no definite answers, we created our own fantastic stories about other worlds, both heavenly and hellacious in their landscapes. We have theorized what life might look like on these planets. Would they be sentient or otherwise? If they were to visit us, would they be benevolent or nefarious? It is therefore both with curiosity and awe that we stare up into the stars, and it is here where Predator begins. From the opening shot, Predator piques our interest as an unknown craft seems to orbit Earth before ejecting a strange object towards the planet. Immediately, the film draws us in as we would be left guessing as to what the vessel deposited into the atmosphere. Was it a bomb, a smaller craft, and if so, where did it land and what was it housing? After this moment was briefly witnessed, it would take another 18 minutes before anything even remotely related or otherworldly was seen or heard. From the very beginning, this film would leave its audience in mystery, which was compounded by the fact that the majority of viewers like myself were expecting another Arnie action movie. We were certainly not anticipating a film about an alien assassin. Much like the rescue team, we were caught off guard when we finally got our first glimpse of something unearthly. The infrared point of view of this unknown entity watching the soldiers. The chilling sound effect collaborated with the eerie visuals to leave the spectators in enigmatic dread. We would share in the protagonist's anxiety as they stared into the trees with trepidation. Was this first subtle reveal connected to the alien craft from the onset? When the typical action sequences played out, our anxiety towards the unknown presence would abate as we felt secure watching from behind the who's who of 80s action heroes. However, our confidence would be short-lived when the entity finally revealed its ghostly face and killed its first victim. This odd apparition would confuse us as much as the on-screen characters as we echoed Anna's words, "It was like the jungle came alive and took him." We had just witnessed one of the most epic genre twists in cinematic history as the film shifted from action to science fiction action horror. Within 1 hour into the film, Dutch's seemingly invincible rescue team were not only deceased, but massacred in the most gruesome fashion. This elite unit barely got close to even wounding this lethal invader, and even warriors like Billy, who feared no man, were dispatched with ease. It utilised lethal weaponry that we could only ever dream of to cut through its hapless victims. However, despite being a brutal killer, it had an honour code, a trait that was further expanded upon in Predator 2. These factors both terrified and tantalised viewers as the subtle clues to the identity of this being only shrouded the creature in mystery and left us with a thirst to learn more about the character. Director of Prey Dan Trachtenberg argued that the Predator intrigued audiences because it had 3 revelations, each offering the spectator more information about the entity. The first was the cloaked creature that resembled a terrifying jungle wraith, a translucent humanoid form that merged with the foliage before pouncing on its prey in a primal attack, then dragging its kill into the vast wilderness. The second reveal was the cybernetic reptilian being that dispatched its quarry from afar with advanced alien weaponry. Its expressionless metallic mask offered us no understanding of its emotions as it seemed to kill without any remorse or compunction. Just when we thought we understood this being, the final revelation was that of the unmasked ogre revealing its true face. A terrifying yet unique primitive monster from the depths of our very nightmares. Much like this film genre, this alien creature continued to shift and change shape. Ultimately, in its final battle with Dutch, this alien antagonist did the impossible. It made the most formidable action hero of the decade and my childhood hero look weak, a notion that terrified me to my core. Despite my anxiety as a 7-year-old child, I could not look away from the screen, and my fascination with Predator began. Many years later, the fear for this character has gone, but the fascination remains. There have been a plethora of fictional alien killers posing as a threat to mankind over the decades, so why are we so fascinated by this one? In my opinion, it is largely due to the film's narrative. Cinema has provided audiences with so many movies that portray an alien race coming to Earth in order to invade. They are most commonly depicted attacking large cities or places of political importance that affect us on a global scale. However, very few science fiction films have centered on a single alien that arrives solely for its own gratification. Predator is a small confined film about a single alien in an isolated jungle. No one but the rescue team knows of its existence. It literally goes undetected to its victims and mankind in general. The Yautja fascinated science fiction fans because 1987's Predator merged so many of our favourite aspects from the genre into one. The arrival of an extraterrestrial being, the alien threat, fear of the unknown, the confluence of deadly technology with the nightmarish monster. We had witnessed so many of these elements before, but it was Predator that managed to blend them all together with such perfection. The sequel continued to tease the fans with more subtle reveals that opened up a whole new universe for the characters and spawned an array of awesome crossovers such as AVP Prey, a personal favourite of mine. If Predator began my fascination, these texts only augmented the obsession. However, it is not only science fiction fans that are fascinated by Yautja. Regular filmgoers have also gravitated towards these characters. Therefore, it may be that something else is being stimulated. We have worshipped the stars in the night sky for thousands of years, looking up to the heavens and documenting visitors from beyond. Perhaps the Predator has resurrected an ancient instinct in us all, a modern version of an archaic tradition, telling stories of what could lie beyond. For me, the underlying theme when trying to understand our fascination with Yautja is the word mystery. We were captivated by these characters because we knew so little about them. Just like our ancestors who stared into the night sky in wonder, our desire to learn more only intensified our fascination. Next week, I try to answer an obscure question about these characters. Do Yautja have a sense of smell?